It's facing me so they can see this screen. Okay. But it's taking that class. Do you want me to show you them? Can I show you? Okay, here they are. Ready? Say hi. We're good. All right. So this is an informational meeting that should help. I want to help you determine what's best for you, whether it is AP Bio or Honors Bio. I'm going to talk with one former, two current in my classes, talk to you as well from their point of view, because I'm 53. I don't know what it's like to be you. I try to imagine, but they do know what it's like for you to be you, and they are all three successful students in my classroom. So you are free to ask them questions. Then at the end, I'm going to give you a bit.ly. That's why I said have a device ready. It says that up there, right?
Yep.
Have a device ready, http, bit.ly, and I'm going to give you a bit.ly, and you're going to fill out a Google form. Hats and hoodies are off because it's respectful to me. And you're going to be notating. You need to fill it out carefully, because you're going to tell me about what classes you're in right now, what your grades are in those classes, but you don't lie on that, because this is like an integrity check, because I can see all of your grades. You understand that? Okay, but I'm putting this all in one form, so I have it curated, and you're going to tell me what class you're hoping to be in, or if you're undecided for next year. All right, so we'll do that towards the end. So I'm glad that you are here. First thing students always ask me is, like, comparing and contrasting these two, is what about homework? So if we click on, oh yeah, that's good. In both of them, you are going to need to memorize some material. If you go to your doctor, you don't want him to Google where's their kidney, right? There's some basics that you're going to need to memorize, but we're really about applying that science. In Honors Bio, and I'm going to ask the student, I have one in Honors Bio right now. Do you think that you have a lot? Introduce yourself, first of all.
I'm Amon. So I'm in Honors Bio, and I really don't believe there's a lot of homework. There's no homework at all. There will be like some classwork or some stuff that we might have not finished in class. Besides that, it's mainly habits, so creating study guides, creating vocabulary guides, doing suggested homework. Besides that, there really isn't that much homework.
Thank you. So I am of the philosophy for homework that your hoodie is off, because this is the second time I've requested it. I'm of the philosophy that homework contributes to the breakdown of the family. You get stressed out and you get overworked and overwhelmed. I am going to provide you with a lot of resources, yes? And it's up to you to take advantage of those resources and do what works for you. If you need more help with the lectures, all my lectures are recorded and online, bless you. Or I will give you other websites that you can go to hear the information from somebody other than me. Do you know the app Quizzes? Yeah, so I have links to quizzes that you can do for practice, and I try to put all of those kind of the homework. For AP, why don't you both come over here and introduce yourselves, and then talk about and we'll do a current and then a past.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
Hi, I'm Ethan.
And it's very similar to Honors Bio for homework, where you don't really have that much assigned and graded work, but it's mostly self-driven. So if you need to look up certain resources, which she provides links to, or doing some practice quizzes, you can go ahead and do as much as you need to in order to be successful.
I mean, the whole year,
The
whole year I had to do labs as homework, but the most part of it was done in class. Just the actual write-up was done for homework. But like she said, it's just studying. That's the whole year, basically.
Okay, great. All right. On the chapter about every other class or so, hopefully with some sort of lab or activity to go along with it. I want you to know though, your honors biology textbook is a college level textbook for non-majors. So what that means is somebody's going to college and they're taking a biology class, but they are not majoring. Hat, right? How many times have I requested hats and hoodies to be off? 3 times. Okay, you're gonna find with me, I expect you to follow what? Directions. That's exactly right. That's the easiest part of your day, is listening to me and do what I ask you to do. And the reason is, if you can do it with hats and hoodies, then you're going to do it when I tell you to review for your quizzes. And to understand that? Okay, so that's why I want you to pay close attention to the words that I say. So you will hopefully have activities that go along with that learning that content that we have in class. Whereas in AP, you could get a new, you could get a new chapter every single day. Now, let's keep going. Summer work. No and no. Okay, and close that because I'm not going to record it. I will, if you want assistance and to look at some things to prepare yourself for the class next year, I can give you some things if you would like to have that. So you're like, okay, this is what it's going to be about. I want to start getting some review materials together. And I will post that in Google Classroom, and I will post a link to that at the end of the school year on my website. Just go to the AP website and you'll see for 20, you don't have to do anything for honors. And I don't expect you to do anything for AP, but I know some of you just like to get a head start. So I'll put some materials there for you if you like it. Okay, benefits. Okay, you get a great biology class. Okay, and it's on your transcripts. It says that you took honors bio. Okay, and benefits. A great biology class, and you can earn college credit. All right, this entire presentation is very similar to the one I give every year, and it is already recorded and posted on my website. I am live streaming this, and that will also be posted as well. Okay, next, what I can expect from you. Okay, you can just start pulling out those apples. All right, I expect you to come to class prepared. What that means, and there's no points for this, what that means is you look at the calendar, you look what I'm going to talk about, and you go do what you need you to do in order to get your brain ready for that. So that might involve reading the chapter if that's what you want to do. It might be looking at the big ticket items, the pictures in it, the title headings. You might open up group shared notes and look over that, because all the research shows, because things aren't worth points like that, just coming to class prepared, because things aren't worth points, a lot of students think they don't need to what? They don't need to do it, okay? So that's a paradigm shift for a lot of you. When you walk into class, you and I have those precious moments together where I'm going to try to teach you everything I can possibly teach you. And if you're still at work, it's very rare. I expect you to be with me the whole time. I expect you to be awake, focused, listening to instructions, and maximizing our. You need to turn that in on time, or it's going to be late. Okay. I will occasionally have you do progress reports where you reflect on your learning. Some of those apples screwed them up. Yeah. Take time to review. I have very focused 7th periods. I put a calendar on that day. You want to take advantage of 7th period. I am a very, very expensive tutor, but your parents' tax dollars have already paid for me to be your personal private tutor every 7th period. Take advantage of that, right? Now, can you make some comments about 7th period?
Okay, so during 7th period...
Louder and in the camera.
During 7th period, she has reviews. So anytime just before a quiz or a test, she'll put it on her calendar, which is on her website. So it's clearly being able to, you can find it, you know when it is. And I recommend just adding it to your phone calendar. So that way, when you're just on your phone, right when you leave out of class, your other classes, it pops up right there and you know to go to her class. And during these reviews, we would just basically go over what we've learned and kind of prepare you what she's looking for the quiz or the test the next day. There is also, we would do practice problems through SmartLab or hellosmart.com, and they're based off quiz questions. Also, through the textbook, in the back of the textbook, there's a bunch of test questions. She highly recommends it. I recommend it. Do those practice problems because they really help.
Perfect. Anything to add there?
I went to 7th period almost every single time there was a 7th period throughout the whole year, and I studied for every single quiz based off of the 7th period reviews, and that really translated to my average GPA and my average quiz grades, because every 7th period is really Miss Litton telling you exactly what you need to know and nothing else, nothing extra.
I find that you're more successful that way.
Yeah, because Miss Litton is very against wasting your time. So she will tell you exactly what you need to know, and then you will see almost word for word, in some similar manner, that same question on the quiz, or the same concept on the quiz or the test, and even on the AP test, there's the same things. And just having that review the whole year, we
Speedy feedback on quizzes and assignments. I value that because the reason we do in my class are debriefs. Yeah. Okay, so instead there's a 2-column note system, and what happens is you are doing your notes with maybe 3 other students, just like you do in the debriefs, but the second column, your Flavor Flav is adding their own pictures, and you can embed additional resources within those. Dynamic, interactive, last period, I respond on that clipboard and then highlight it when I've fixed your grade, if it's an issue like that. Or, Ms. Litton, you'll get it back when you get it back, but you'll know by looking at that clipboard. So there's always open communication. And I don't know how that happened. Yay! But there are people doing some naughty things I think are not dressed appropriately on TikTok. So I'm not saying that you need to go on TikTok. I think hashtag poor choices. Now, for honors bio, if you want to be an honors A first semester, already in your head, you need to know when grades come out, you better get an A second semester in your FOSS class, right? But you're going to need to appeal, okay? Because there will be enough sections for all of you to be in honors bio, but if you don't qualify, I go through all of the appeals for the entire science department because I'm the science department chair, and I'm going to look who is the strongest candidate who didn't meet the criteria to put you in there. Okay? If you put me in that situation, or you put me on a track meet to compete with you, I could not do it. Okay? That does not mean that there's anything wrong with me. It's just that I don't have the skill set yet in order to compete at that level. I want to place you where you are challenged and you are pushed academically. So appealing you up into AP Bio, I'm going to say, what kind of work ethic do they have? Are they responsible? Do they go around making excuses, or do they own their mistakes and learn from them? Okay, that's what I'll be looking for to get you into that class, because I want you placed where you should be. Okay? Like I said, you need to appeal. If you do not meet those prerequisites, you need to appeal. When do you need to appeal? As soon as second semester grades are posted, when you have your official grades. Part of that process, and I cannot tell you how frustrating it is, and I've said no to kids on appeals because they did not follow the instructions of the appeal. Because what does that communicate to me? What have you given me evidence for? That you do not know how to follow what?
Directions.
Exactly. So by golly, if you're trying to convince me I should really be in your class, follow the instructions, for goodness sakes. If it says to print out a transcript, I don't need an official transcript. Just go to print transcriptions. I go no. And I only revisit those appeals. Okay, click underneath additional resource where it says click it. To the right, yeah. Just to the right of it. There you go. So I've already told you I record the lectures. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram. My Twitter one is I don't put a lot on that one except for my educational account. I'm Miss Litton Biology across all platforms. Full year, I'm pretty sure it's gonna change on June 20th, 2020. So if you see you are in a class with Mrs. Sloan, that's me, okay? So, because what I'm fearing is you're gonna be like, what? Where's Litton? Did she quit? No, I'm still here, okay? Just, you should see maybe Mrs. Sloan, if they have it changed over. They may not have it changed over. Thank you, my dear. All right, now, student voices, this is where you quietly ask a few questions, and you do this by raising your hand, and I will call on you. So student voices, come hither. Okay, questions, nice and loud.
If you take honors, can you get an exam? Can you like pay for? And then if you get a 4 or 5 on that exam, even though you took honors.
Okay, I'm going to jump in on that one. Okay, so the honors curriculum which I have written does not prepare you for the AP exam. Okay? AP prepares you for AP. Okay? The curriculum. Okay.
But you can take the SAT.
Yes, SAT 2s. All of you will.
Does your math grade matter to get in?
Yes, let's go back to that slide. Yes, I expect you, if you're really struggling in math, that's going to have an issue. Okay, and here's why. AP biology is typically taught to seniors. You're going to be competing with seniors. Okay, but I am teaching, and I have taught it for many years to sophomores, so I'm going to teach you a little bit of calculus. It will be fine when you do it, but I'm going to teach you a little bit. 94% pass rate. Okay, the national average. So it is a rigorous course, but if you follow it,
Hours of studying.
for every child.
So, I have a really good memory. But, that being said, AP Bio was the first class I ever really had to study every single night for, as if each quiz was a test. Now, this is a lot of work. However, when it comes to the tests per unit and the AP test, putting in that hour and a half of studying per every quiz that I did, ask questions to each other, and that really helped your partner, help you build your friendship as well as your grade in bio. So.
Also,
Go ahead.
with regards to studying, I sometimes study every other day, but something that really helps me to remember what is being taught in the lesson is to really prepare yourself, and that will help you so much with your studying. It will save you a lot of time because you'll know a little bit about what Miss Litton is going to talk about during class.
And I think it's just the way Miss Litton teaches that you don't need to study a lot because you already know the information. Like for me, when I went to study for a quiz or a test, I felt like I needed to study a lot because I thought I still didn't know the information. But when I get to
I'm
the
going to pause
test,
you just for a minute. Guys, your little whispers will distract somebody who's really trying to listen to this information, so let's be respectful and just not talk right now. You'll have a moment. Go right ahead.
so when I get to the quizzes and tests, it's a breeze. Because Miss Litton has taught the information well enough that you don't really need to study everything. Like you just need to go over the main points, the ideas that are outlined in the calendar at the bottom of the page, and you make sure you go over all of that information and make sure you're able to mentally understand all of the questions. If you cannot, then you just have to review all the notes, do some practice problems out of the textbook, and that's really it.
Okay, another question, yes.
How many labs do you get, and then like, how often do you get quiz in AP Bio?
Okay, you're gonna get a quiz in AP Bio pretty much after we'll do a chapter. You'll get a quiz, do a chapter, do a quiz, do a chapter, get a quiz, take a test. You can look right now, the AP Bio curriculum changed last summer, so that'd be 2019, right? So from that, I rearranged all the order, what I did to align with the College Board so we'd be in perfect alignment. And you're a part of under the umbrella of OPUSD, then you have access to all of that right now, and you can kind of scroll through and see. Also, my calendars for AP Bio, I make a calendar for the entire semester, so you know in August when all your quizzes and tests are. Because we have to have everything, you know, in order to get it done in time, I have to have every single day planned. We don't have like, oh, let's just screw around day. Honors Bio, you get it for every unit, but if you want to go back, all my calendars for this entire year are posted on the Honors Bio website, and you can see the pacing and the speed at which we move through the material and some of the resources that we use for that. Did that answer your question? Okay, yes.
How much of the in-class resources are physical and electronic?
The notes are given.
Group shared notes are really helpful because you do have the option to take a picture of her slides, which she also posts on the Master Hyperdoc. So if you need some sort of picture or visual to go with your notes, you can take a picture of that and insert in your notes really quickly.
So you can't lose group shared notes. They will always be online in your drive, whereas paper notes, you can misplace them, you can spill water on them. If your handwriting's super bad like mine is, you can't even read what you wrote. So it's always good
your labs.
Yeah. It's always good to have a digital copy of everything.
That way you can take it wherever you go, right? So if you're on going to participate in a sport and you have a long trip, you can just pull up your notes on your phone. Oftentimes students pull up the reviews. If I live stream it, you can go to it right then. Otherwise, I'll post it right as soon as I'm done with the review so you can watch it like on the bus on your way home. Yes?
Are your 7th grade reviews also recorded?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's like the average grade in AP Bio?
It really depends on the class. I would say, by and large, for honors, I have more A's than B's. And I think AP Bio, I think the grades are probably a little bit lower, only because I'll tell you this at the beginning of you can attest to this. I'll tell you at the beginning of the school year the best way to study, but because some of you are bright and you've never had to study before, you're egotistical and you think you know what's best. This is what I need to do. She means what she says. Some people will go a whole semester before they figure it out. And so I'm telling you, when I tell you, hey, here's the best way to study the material, you can all have different ways of studying, like what works for you, but I'm going to tell you strategies, what to do before class, during class, after class, to prepare for quizzes, prepare for tests. So this is my 32nd year teaching. So I've worked with, and if you believe me, you will be very successful. But we have some kids who don't do that. And the only progress reports I've had to do this entire school year is in my AP class. I haven't had to do a single progress report in my honors class. Did you say that's about accurate about believing about how to study? Yeah. Yes.
Does Honors Bio rate your GPA?
Well, that's up for debate. Currently, the seniors right now are having weighted GPA. So the school and school board are going to have to make a decision about that. But if they do weight it, they're going to make honors and AP be weighted the same, I believe. And so my suggestion to you is take AP Bio if you're really into it and you want to learn at a college level. Because I will tell you, in both honors and AP, I care more about you as an individual than I do your science grade. And I'm going to give you tips. Do I do that? Yeah, I'm going to give you tips on like how to approach school in general, whether it's English or science or math. And so if you want the most rigorous push that's most like a college level course, take AP. If you want to just push yourself to do something more than CP Bio, but CP Bio is a great class, but you don't want to have the burden of AP, then take honors. That's what I would suggest for you. Okay, now, last question.
Okay, so if, say, someone is still in Algebra 1, can they still get into AP Bio?
Okay, I'm going to have you look at the prerequisites, and then I'm going to tell you once again, if you don't meet the prerequisites, then you need to appeal. Okay, now, I am available for questions because I teach here. Any of the students would be happy to answer your questions as well. But what I need to make sure is that I've curated that you are here today. So on your device, I've given you a bit.ly right here. So go to that bit.ly. And if you're watching this at home, go to that bit.ly. Is anybody on the YouTube live stream? Is it coming up the right direction? Okay. Okay. Is that what it took you to? Oh, it's case sensitive, everyone. You got to type it in case sensitive. Otherwise, I don't know where you're going to go. All right, and that is the conclusion of our presentation. There is a recorded screen version from last year that is very, very similar. It is also on my website. You just need to Google Winnie Litton, and I hope that was helpful.